I just say 4 petals on the
How many petals do you want?
I just say make it look like that. I just say make it look like a bagel.
You want to make it again? You want to draw another one? Come here. You want to draw another one?
Yeah.
Okay, come get another piece of paper. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Draw another one.
Layla did that.
Layla's sorry. She didn't mean it.
I did draw purple petals on the part of the flower.
What color flowers do you want?
I'm going to draw it by
Or what color petals do you want?
I'm going to draw it by
You going to draw it by yourself?
Do you want the flowers like this?
How are you?
Avia did orange people.
She did orange people. Let me see.
See, look.
Oh, goodness.
She drew an orange person.
Oh, she drew an and a green person? What
I don't know how to draw frogs.
You don't know how to draw frogs.
And Tariq didn't help me draw a tree.
He didn't help you. Okay. Go ask somebody to help you draw one. Go ask Justice.
I didn't want a tree.
You didn't want a tree?
Yes.
Okay. You want another piece of paper?
Yes.
Yes.
So I can draw a picture.
So you can draw a picture.
And another. They get 2 cards.
2 cards.
I need orange.
We are hanging out.
There's no orange.
Doing a lot. It's so loud. It was louder in here, which is why I did not start at 2 o'clock. Because everybody was in here.
I need blue. Let's just red, orange, orange. It's okay. There's no orange right there.
Pick up that doll. See it by Layla's foot. Is it wet?
No.
Let me see it. Is this the one?
Black. I don't know who's it.
I know it's got a nick on it. I think that's the one Jasmine was doing a minute ago. I feel like it's dry. Okay, here. Hey, put it on the table. I guess she'll come back and finish it in a minute. So
I close the green up. Yeah. Call it yellow.
As y'all can see, there's a lot
Yellowy
going on.
green? No, not that. Yellow. Hold on, I need blue. Wait till I'm almost done.
What you doing?
They needed yellowy green.
She called it yellowy green. Well, what color is it?
I want yellow.
It's yellow?
I wish there was two blues.
You don't have two. You do have 2 blues.
No, look, there's only one.
The skinny ones? Did you see the skinny markers? And where's your top for that one? The top on it.
It's on the table. No, it's not. Here.
Well, you're going to have to find it so they don't dry out.
Okay. I find the top.
They are in here doing,
I found it. Where is it now?
Pants. Let me see. Notification. They are drawing pictures.
Get up.
The other girls were in here painting peg dolls.
Peg dolls.
Or finishing. Well, not finishing. I think they're going to put some hair on them or something. I don't know. They've been putting bow ties on them and all kind of stuff. well, I would say one teenager and grown up teen, since she's 21 now. I'm going to try your bread pudding with apples. I don't know what will happen. Oh, that'll be good. It'll come out the same. Yeah, you can add fruit to it. I just didn't feel like putting fruit in it. That kind of fruit. I said raisins. It's yeah, I don't know if I said cranberries, but it was cranberries in there.
But I just want to have a boat on.
Apples, pears, strawberries, blueberries. You can add anything to a bread pudding.
I'm doing.
Well, let me know how it turns out.
Do it loud. Yeah. That's loud.
Why do it loud?
They're banking on the tape.
I know. Hey. These kids are off the hook. I don't know why they didn't stay outside. They asked to go outside, and I guess they came in here to see what everybody else was doing. That was it.
It has lots of windows.
Your house has lots of windows. Where you going?
I only made a picture.
Oh, who did you make it for?
Jasmine.
You made it for Jasmine? You going to take to Jasmine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need you to help me draw a tree.
Okay. Can you bring me that?
Bring you what?
Bring me your paper and the marker. Okay. And then put the rest of those markers, the caps. Where do you want the tree?
There.
Okay. I need a marker.
Green. That's green.
That's green. You want a big tree or a small tree?
A big tree.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I need brown.
Okay.
That's right here behind me. Look, on the table. Now pick up the other ones and put the tops on them. Okay. So you got me over here finishing my pictures.
Black is gone.
Black is gone. Where's it at? Is this good?
Yes.
I'm gonna put some more branches on.
And draw an owl.
Why you got me over here doing the most and I'm doing something else? I forgot how to draw the owl. Hold on. Let me look at the picture. She got me doing all kind of stuff. Where you want me to draw the owl?
There.
On the tree?
I think they're outside.
They went outside again. I gotta make it right here. Let's see. How did I make this owl sitting there? He needs a head. He needs some eyes. I should start with the eyes first. And he needs a beak.
Yeah.
Let's see. Draw some feet.
There.
That's good?
Yes.
Make sure I did it. Do this part. So there's her little house she drew, and my tree and my owl. Here. Get the blue marker and put the top on it.
Okay.
Who did she draw that for?
Jasmine.
Where's Justice's picture? Justice, wait, she gonna get you?
It's right there.
Oh, you made one? It. You have to draw her one. She waiting.
Okay.
Draw her a picture. I'll keep drawing all the pictures for Jasmine. Justice wants some pictures too.
We need to start. I heard a fly.
You heard a fly?
Layla covers her ears because flies in her ear.
Okay. So yeah, there's just a whole lot of stuff going on. Everybody is doing all kinds of stuff. I've been trying to get.
Can we have a sandwich?
In a minute. I've been trying to get a lot of things done, and I've been getting a lot done. It just seems like there's never enough time, but it's always something that needs to be done, something else. So that is where I'm at now. What's that outside? I keep hearing. Sound like a big person. Who's on the porch?
Javen and Layla.
Javen and Layla. Mm-hmm. So that's a good house. Ooh, yeah. The dishes are in there waiting.
Because
they've been in there occupying them, and I've been trying to do other things, so the dishes, at least the stuff I used to cook with, is still in there. And usually I don't do that, but I was trying to take advantage of the big kids doing stuff with the little kids. They are, I don't know, they're supposed to be doing some crocheting, but they've been working on them peg dolls and art, and I don't know what they've been doing. Drawing. They had these nature and farm anatomy books, drawing stuff. So as long as they're busy, I'm good. It's just about lunchtime. It's already 3 o'clock. But they ate late and they had a huge breakfast. So lunch and dinner are going to be pushed back. In fact, I need to go take out dinner. And can I have that ready? I think somebody's supposed to be baking a cake. A little cake baker. So that'll probably get done sometime.
It's supposed to be Jasmine and Justice.
Jasmine and Justice are going to bake the cake? I think Zai wanted to bake the cake for her.
Jasmine has to help her.
Jasmine have to help her? Okay. Well, tell Jasmine she have to help Zai. When you finish it, and then you take your pictures in there to them, tell them that they have to help Zai bake the cake. So, what else is going on? I have stacks and books still out. In fact, the girls were over here a little while ago on my bookshelf getting dibs on my books. Because they know I have a couple of first edition books, and I don't know, I'm gonna just let them. I don't want to leave them to anybody. I just told them to make sure that they don't get rid of them. But yeah, it's not like they can't get the reprints, but these are first edition and they're turn of the century. Like what am I trying to think of? I'm looking at it. I can't read the cover because it's not like a regular cover. Booker T. Washington and Uncle Tom's Cabin. There's a couple more over there. But yeah, my kids get that reading from me. So, yeah. other than that, we're not really doing too much. Like I said, it is the end of the year. Just trying to wind some things up and get ready to start fresh. So it's kind of weird. I don't usually, I don't know. I'm not, just because it's a new year by our modern calendar, I usually consider the beginning of the year as spring. It's kind of weird to say end of the year, but it's the end of the year. Out there. There's a lot of stuff that has been, going on, and I have been trying to come back live, and it's just so much stuff going on. I can't really get into detail, but it's a lot. I've been talking to a lot of people, and it's just crazy how so many people are going through things, and it's just, you have to pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for other people, because people are going through it, especially this time of the year. And it's joyful as it sounds. A lot of people are, all hubbub, full of joy this time of year. It's really sad because this is it's a very sad time of the year. A lot of people fall into depression, and mental states are, falling more into disarray. And, well, I'm telling you, come Monday, everybody in the streets right now, I know, in the mall, all over the place, come Monday, that's going to be one sad day. And it's crazy. That's the reason why we don't do it. I can't. Everybody's going to be crying broke. The kids going to be yelling and screaming and hollering and upset about, I didn't get this and I didn't get that. And, boy, I wish my kids would. I wish they would. But, yeah. Just for y'all that, do it, more power to you. More power to you. Yeah, it's just not our cup of tea. I teach my kids to be grateful for things whenever, and also to think of those that have not. And this year, it's like, I don't know, it seems like every year, it gets worse and worse. The beginning of the year, everybody was hollering, oh, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. And it's like, okay, did you recover? Because now I see people everywhere just going crazy on stuff. It's like, rewind back to a few months ago. Did you forget you were broke? Buying more stuff is going to make you joyful. You still broke. I don't get that. And then the kids that, cannot, don't have, I always teach my kids, look, you're not missing anything. There are kids that are worse off. For us it's a choice, but there are children that don't have, and I would much rather teach them, we're going to give to those that don't have, those that have not experienced. I see parents these days, they buying kids stuff left and right. It's crazy. It's like, won't you go take that whole basket that you just bought, clothes, shoes, toys, whatever, go give it to somebody else. Out the goodness of your heart, just go give it to somebody else. Your kids do not need it. Or this month, I see, let's go shopping. Oh, this coming out your Christmas. What? Won't you just give it to somebody? Just not even buy it. I mean, if you already went Christmas shopping, then you turn around and take them shopping the same month Christmas come and tell them it's coming out of Christmas. That's kind of just blah, and then you already spent, way too much anyway. They don't need that stuff. So you say, yep, I can't either. Faking. Exactly. Yeah, I told mine if I want to buy something, I can do that any day. Exactly, Victoria. Any day. We don't wait up, It's the paganism. Um, it's the paganism behind it. And even, I don't know. It's pretty much across anything. It's not just Christmas. What else did we just have? Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the same thing. There's nowhere in nowhere. I don't. It's an excuse. People these days, take things so totally out of context. Okay, well, we don't celebrate Christmas. We do Hanukkah. Okay, you going to Toys R Us? Because they didn't have Toys R Us back then. Okay? They didn't have Walmart and Target back then. Them kids were not getting them toys. So you just paganized Hanukkah. Same difference. So, it's just it's a cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to make sure that they understand what it is and they appreciate it and they won't take it, for granted that I'm just gonna keep buying because somebody said it's this day or it's that day.
She went across the street too.
Who?
Never mind.
Who went across the street?
Nobody.
Oh. Where's I?
Outside with Javen.
Where's Tariq?
Inside.
So, yeah, we don't wait for somebody to tell us when to spend our money. I can't get past that. It's too much for me. Too much. And then I see the Christmas tree. I was paying attention to I don't know, I just watching vlogs and stuff. I still support people and things like that. I know everybody has different views and different opinions, so I don't shun anybody. My opinion is my own, and what I'm saying, somebody may turn their head, shake their head, or what have you, but it's my opinion. This is the way we do things in our house. I'm not saying it's wrong in your house, but over here, this is what we do. But I'm looking at the how these ornaments have evolved, and it's crazy. I think if we did that, by the time I got done buying the tree and the ornaments, we wouldn't have nothing to put under it. They got ornaments that look like, what do you call that? I mean, anything, cell phones and makeup and ponies and dolls and what's these little men these kids play with? Ninja Turtles and like all of that just to put some stuff under the tree. People just go and deck stuff out. What happened to the little round red and green and blue and to have gold and silver balls? I guess that wasn't enough. They had to go all out these days. And then, every year, everybody have to get the new special ornament. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain it, but I don't get that. I just don't get it. It just seems like it's idolatry. It is idolatry. That's what it is. It's idolatry. So, yeah, I think my kids, when they were younger, best explained it. What about the kids that don't have, but what about the ones that can't even, don't even have the Christmas tree? How do you explain to them they got this stuff? The whole scenario is just, like you say, it's fake. If you don't have a chimney, but you've been teaching them that this figure comes down this chimney, that's just crazy to me. That's crazy. I would never, that's one thing I don't do is fabricate anything to my kids. I tell my kids complete truth no matter how harsh it is because I learned, I knew better very early, but they would correct things themselves and say, why did you tell me this and you knew it wasn't true? And it's not that I was not telling them the truth. I may have left a couple of things out, just because of their age, but I always explained to them this is why. It wasn't anything completely, false like that.
Yes.
But yeah, they would say, hey, don't tell me the truth, because if I have to find out on my own, that right there takes the trust away. Your kids will not trust you at all if you cannot tell them the truth. And if they can't trust you, who can they trust? You should be the one, as parents, to be completely honest. You don't give another man credit at all. How do you work hard and give another man credit? Yeah, you don't do stuff like that. And so that's why I understand how people, oh, and it's for the kids. No, tell your kids the truth. You want to lie to them? It's not for the kids. You're teaching your kids a lie, and then you turn around and, oh, I'm teaching them the Bible, and I'm teaching them to respect. No, you're not. You already started them off with a lie. Kids are not dumb. They're not naive. Kids are just, they're little people. They do understand a whole lot. I totally agree. Honesty. Yep, honesty. Like I said, within reason, and some little kids you cannot tell. So you have to break it up. You tell it to them in stages. Just like when you explain the birds and the bees. You cannot tell little kids every little detail, but you don't sugarcoat it and make it into something that it's not. But it's very damaging to bring kids up like that, and it's done a lot. And what happens is just that little bit of I don't even know what to call that, I don't want to call it bad parenting, but just those little details, if you continue to do things like that, you continue to bring harm within a relationship. And those little things just bring out different behaviors in kids, their perception. You don't want to give them, they need to build their own perception of things, but if you keep giving them false perceptions, that's how kids learn how to lie. That's how kids learn how to cheat. That's how the kids learn how to talk back and get away with it. You have to learn how to nip that stuff in the bud. That has to do with character flaws. Everybody has them, but you could stop that. And I see a lot of, oh, my child is, this, and this, and I don't know how to stop that. And how do you get your, how do you get your kids to listen to you when you're trying to tell them something? Mine don't listen and all that kind of stuff. It's little stuff like that. That's where that stems from. They don't respect you. That's the reason why they don't listen. You lied to them. They might not tell you that they know the truth or they understand differently, but you lied to them. So I know that's one of the things I don't really touch on here is discipline, is because there's no need to. And I see that kind of often on here. I hear people asking, how do you discipline your kids? Nobody is really qualified to give out that information or advice to anybody, because you don't know that person's household. And I would completely say what you do in your home is best. I would just flat out say that, because what works over here may not work over there. Like I said, we have a certain level of discipline, and the kids just know it starts from the beginning. It's a certain thing. I trained them very young, and they know better. I don't want mine to start off life steps behind that happened to me. These kids need to be prepared. Exactly, they do. They do. So yeah, I could not see going and ask somebody how to deal with this and how to deal with that, and things like that, because you don't even know you can't. I'm trying to look at these. Okay, now I see string. Okay. I don't know what's going on, y'all. YouTube is wigging out. But yeah, everybody needs to raise their own. Everybody has different background, different beliefs. Definitely different journeys. Definitely. Definitely. Like some people, kids with potty mouth, some people it cut off. Yeah, it did. I don't know why it's cutting off. Some people would wash their kids' mouth out with soap. You can't. Some things you just cannot tell people. And it's not like it. It may do more harm than good. That's why I say I wouldn't give out that type of advice. There are things that I do, especially with the older ones when they got around 10, maybe 8 to 10, because that's when they really started to come into their own and question more things, and they were a little more adventurous, especially when it came to telling the truth, because I'm not going to say my kids are little angels, but all the kids sneak and do all kinds of stuff. But what we would do was play judge and jury. I could be downstairs and they would be upstairs, and I could hear, not only because I had the baby monitor on, but sometimes I didn't have it on. But I wouldn't hear a name, but just based on the situation and what happened, I would know which one of them did it because I knew them so well. But we would sit down and just have a whole little court session and get to the bottom of the situation. They had a fair trial. They were being judged by everybody else in the family, and I didn't really have to do that much work because what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So I treated them just like grown-ups and said, hey, just as you have to stand before your father and be judged, that's what has to happen here. There was no yelling, there was no punishment, there was no, none of that, because once we got done going through all of that, that was enough lesson for them. I taught them through, it was a living lesson. So yeah, these little ones, they're still in that little stage where they're just now, getting to that point. They're, little kids, tattletale. That's just how it is. But I really do, put my foot down on that too, because that can end up to be a problem. So, yeah, it's just different things that we do around here. And frankly, when anybody does in their home to discipline or not, that's not anybody's business. And I see people a lot of times and they come and ask, well, you need to discipline that child, and that child is this and that child is that. Well, don't watch. Don't watch. If you have to be that nasty about it, just don't watch, because yeah, that type of thing, when you get emotionally caught up in these vlogs, that will bother you. So if you know that that family is like that, don't watch them. At the same time, somebody could be looking at you the same way, but, you are not the one that's that bold to put a camera up. It takes a lot to put a camera up and show everybody what's going on around here. A lot of times that's why the room is empty. The kids don't want to be in the vlogs. I was trying to vlog a little bit the other night, and all I could get was hands because it's the big kids and they don't want to be seen like that, and sometimes just stuff is just not meant for the public. But, on the other foot, sometimes you do want to capture certain things. So it's kind of hard to just edit stuff, or just leave it out. It's the things that we leave out of the vlogs. Those are the most, I think those are the most valuable. So I try to not leave anything out. And if it's not, for you all's enjoyment, it's more for us. But, yeah, it's plenty of times I don't even turn on the camera. We miss a lot, and you all miss a lot, but that's life. It's a job just to have the camera on at all. So, interesting though. That's cute. So, yeah, that's my little spiel on this thing. So it's just, like I said, I would not kind of stay away from those things when I see, certain things or certain comments, certain topics being discussed. I kind of just don't watch. And I watch something else and just miss that part of it because I don't want to get caught up. And I think anybody that's that attached to anybody in the cyber world and not know them personally has too much time on their hands. That's, yeah. It's crazy. And I think that turns into it. A lot of it turns into idolatry. That's another reason why I don't. There's certain things that, I will talk about here, and certain things I don't, because I don't want to give the false perception, or I don't want to give anybody something that is just fake. And then they try to go and imitate it. As much as I try to tell you guys, don't. You cannot imitate. You can't imitate anybody. Or try to incorporate. You can't. You can't. Even though I show you lots of valuable things and give you lots of information and stuff like that, you can't imitate what I'm doing. You really can't. I can't imitate anybody else. I don't even aim to. But, there are certain people that, again, I see that all the time. Can you do this? Can you do this? Because I want to do that. And it's like, okay, do I take that literally? But a lot of times they are very serious. I want to do just like you. It's like, but you're not that family. You can't do that. And it's not just, it's not just the homeschool stuff. It's just anything. So, that's pretty much what has been, on my mind this past couple of months. Just going through the year, reflecting on the year and thinking where we started and where we are now and where we're headed. A lot of things you all have not seen. I'm trying to bridge gaps with the vlogs because you probably see a different style. What I've been showing you guys mostly is kind of the workbook aspect with, my little creative touch. But that is just a portion of what we do. And I'm trying to share more of the I want to say I don't even say that structured, but non-textbook, type of things that we're doing. As I told you all in the beginning of the year that we were focusing on writing this year, more writing, because the twins are able to write very well now. You can go back out. So that's where all the literature and the poetry, you're seeing the teachings of it. That's just stuff I've just been sitting on for a while. Because now it's more things that they're doing. I'm not really prompting as much as I was. So, and then I just go in and explain how they got to that point. But yeah, the grammar has completely changed. I took them out of the textbook because they finished, and so now I'm doing it the way I intended, and I'm going to share soon. I don't even want to put a timeline on it because I still have some stuff to share, but I want to say January, February, I am going to share the curriculum on time. And I say on time because I did it late this year, but for next year. And it's not what you guys think. So, yeah. Completely different. Very simple. Very simple. But it works. It's not something new. We've already been doing it. I just haven't, I share it. I just don't talk about it. I just show you guys. Pretty much that's how it is. I just been showing you. So once I share, then you'll go put two and two together and say, oh, okay, now I understand. But, yeah. That, I'm not, let me see. What did we do this week? I guess we're taking a little break right now for the next couple of days, maybe. I'm just trying to do some other things and put some things together and just realign things. I'm sitting here I'm trying to pull books. You all know we read tons and tons and tons, and I'm trying to decide how I want to use these books and actually what I want to get into this year as far as the read alouds and really what I want to do with them. So there's so many things. I don't know. I'm just so this room, it's so, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? This is our library. I don't know if you guys pay attention, but the kids never call this the homeschool room. It's always been a library, wherever room or whatever place we've been in, it's always been a library. But it's truly a library, and I just get so excited in here with these books because I'm finding more and more stuff that I need. I'm so satisfied. I don't have to go buy anything new. It seems like everything I need, everything I'm thinking about that I want to do and that we are, the kids are interested in, all I have to do is go to the shelf. And it's like, wow. And that's why I tell you guys, I'm very intentional about the book purchases. I don't just go buy random stuff because it's, cheap or whatever. It has to be something that's going to interest them. A lot of times I may see things and I pass it up because I know that's not where their interest lies. Maybe, in another year or so. But I'm good. I'm good. I think the last couple of books I bought, the last book haul, I'm looking at, I did not get in that order Cricket in Times Square, and that's one that I wanted to get to. So I'm trying to decide between books like that, which one I want to bring up to start the year with. I don't know if it's going to be, what was that book I was thinking of? I kind of want to do Stuart Little or The Trumpet of the Swan. I don't know. It's a toss-up. I might let them decide. We've been into birds, so I might just keep that going like that. I'm trying not to theme stuff, but it kind of just works like that. But definitely, I'm moving too slow for these kids. I see that. I try to split up these reading sessions and books. We'll have 2 or 3 chapter books going because I read different times of the day. One's for night, one's for afternoon, one's for morning. So that is really how we get through. And then the little thin ones, we just kind of spread them throughout the day. But when I share a stack of books, we really get through those books. And you guys kind of see the work that they do behind those books. I'm not I'm going to buy this book and you guys are going to read this book and that's it. And we're done with it. It goes back on the shelf. That's not what I do. That's the reason why we have a lot of books, but we don't have a lot. If I was just reading the books and putting them back on the shelf, you will see book hauls left and right, every week. We have to use these books. I believe in books, but I believe in just using them, not just reading them.
Can we have some of these?
You may have. All right. So, and then, of course, there's, the books that the kids are reading on their own and things like that. And some of the books we use, but we don't actually read through all of them. It may be just a page or 2 on whatever it is. So, yeah, I'm letting them kind of pick up on what they want. But, like I said, looking at the beginning of the year, my goal was to get the little one, because she was anxious to learn how to read, to get her reading and accomplished. So if I didn't do anything else, I need to get everybody reading this year. I did everything I needed to, just, doing that. I didn't really have a set number of books or number of subjects, unit studies or topics or anything that laid out per se. And I still have not shared exactly, because it's in the room tour. That's what it is. I have not done that. But I did have a certain, we did start a certain topic. And because it's not something that you can just open and close, it's, it'll continue. You want me to open this? Okay, now you're going to do this yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Can you finish it? All right. Now, while I'm on this, I was actually getting ready. I was going to bring this up in one of these. And I'm glad you brought this to me, because I know I'm still getting questions. Handwriting.
I see orange.
Mm-hmm. Good tool for handwriting right here. Why? Let them peel their own. Okay, you could start it out for them, but make them peel their own. Because they need to, they have to palm. A lot of kids have trouble palming the pencil. They want to, like that.
Mom, I can't open it.
You can't find the beginning of it? Did you try this part? Look, right here. You started it. What happened? Now, she's gotten really well with hers. And this was the one that was having because she's a lefty. But, yeah, I cannot stress that enough. That is one of the best things to have them do. Peel their own oranges. Now, I don't eat oranges, but I'm just, it's a good thing. yeah, that definitely strengthens their fine motor, um, for them to be able to grip that orange and use their pincer and things like that. So next time you at the store, and even if they're mandarins, those are actually mandarins. Like I said, I'm not an orange person. Ugh, now I smell like oranges. Um, give them some mandarins and let them peel them. Last year, 2017, I just wanted to start to homeschool, and I did. I have a lefty look. Yeah, all of mine. I have one lefty. Yeah. I would say look at your first couple of years of homeschooling as a learning experience, because you really new. You don't know too much about what you're doing, and even now I'm still at that point, because this is a whole different batch of kids. All the kids are different, and I don't think any there are things that I can do, and tips and tricks that I picked up over the years, but um, every experience just seems like it's brand new. Some of the things I use with the older kids, like the books a lot, because my older kids love literature as well. So we always use literature versus twaddle. Um, but some of the stuff they do, the little kids don't do. Some of the stuff the little kids do that the older kids didn't do. So I'm still learning new things every day. They are teaching me things, but I do have quite a bit of, I have a lot of insight, and that's what I try to offer, insight to kind of troubleshoot, um, some things, or um, recommend some things to try. I still get a lot of messages and, things like that for that type of thing, and I'm fine, and I know you all appreciate, the insight and the help. It's not a problem at all. That's why I always leave the email in the videos, because sometimes that's the best way. But I get messages on Instagram and things like that, and here, no problem. But again, I don't. One thing I don't do is just, and those of you that have talked to me, I have never given you anything, and I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm doing, if that makes sense. And not because I'm not being stingy, I'm sharing, but because what the first thing I will do is ask you. I have to talk to you for a while and ask you about your children and their learning styles, and family dynamics and what goes on, before I can give you any kind of help on what to use. Because if I don't know that, I'm just not going to start say go get this or go get that. I don't know what resources you have, if that makes sense. So I won't do that. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually take the time and talk with you, and a lot of times it is over the phone. What's the matter?
I need diesel.
But
And I need dad.
You have brought this thing back in here again. Knowing all the time, you don't have me smelling like this thing. So yeah, sometimes and then I always ask you to let me know after you realign things, like a week or so. Let me know how things are going, and then later on, because it may be something else. But I don't like to, just give out any kind of here any kind of help, because it could be the wrong thing. Here, go put this in the trash. What is that? The Mandarin membranes. So yeah, again. Ooh, some my kids do. Like I said, if your kids are not literature based and you ask me something about reading or what they read or something like that, if I told you, your kids might not be into those kind of books. You might not be into those kind of books. You might not have time to sit down and read, or you might not even enjoy reading the way I read. So that would be the wrong thing to tell you. For me, it doesn't bother me to sit down and read for them 30, 45 minutes a couple times a day. That doesn't bother me. That's why I watch not to copy, but I learn from your experience. You've done it. I'm just getting started. Yeah. And that's really what I want. That's what I'm trying to point out. I can show you a lot of different things that I use, because, each one of them, I'm doing different things with them because they are different children. And that's exactly how I would approach it if I were to talk with you and you came and asked me, what should I use? Even if it's a boxed, yes, I'm going to give you my opinion because, I sit down and research the stuff. It doesn't mean you have to take what I'm telling you, because your reasons, your beliefs, your principles, and all of that may not be mine. So, but I'll tell you, like somebody's asking why I won't use math lessons for living education past this level 1, and it was a spinoff to a comment because somebody made a video about some things that they found on what was that? Christian Light. They're not using the upper grades. They can't support it. And I had touched on it before. It's racist. It's racist. It's flat out racist. And that's why I say you guys have to watch the curriculum that you purchase. You won't see it pretty much in the first grade. But in the second grade, a lot of times in the history, though, you really have to fine-tooth that history. But you won't see it in the first grade. But in the second grade, they sneak all kind of stuff in there. Or at least they try to. And if you don't pay attention to it, it's just like the books. I have to read every book that I give my kids. I don't just buy these books, even if it's a chapter book. I have to read it all over again to make sure that it's not going to make them feel some type of way after they read it. Because some kids are just not ready for certain things. But yeah, that particular program, I saw some stuff that I didn't like, some references that I didn't like in the upper levels. I mean, the story, some things I just can't change. I have to accept. I accepted the story in general was based on the two characters that they're based on. Perhaps they could have added some friends in and made it a little more diverse, I'm just saying. But, I knew what I picked up when I picked it up. But again, if I had not really paid attention, for one, like I said, I'm using it only as a supplement because it's not even strong enough. But I saw something. One thing I do not like when I see any type of, book or show or curriculum or whatever, and they reference certain beliefs or backgrounds or cultures incorrectly, that's a turnoff to me. I saw Indians, because Indians live in India, but they were referring to Native Americans. Okay, that's just like saying the N word for us. Okay, I'm not doing it. You cannot have my money. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. If you can't, because who knows what's to come later on in those books. And little kids don't know. So it's up to the parents to. And if you just let that pass and you ignore it, then you're going to keep giving them book after book after book. These kids will not know Indians from Native Americans. See what you did? Okay? There's two different things. They will not know the difference. Why are you confusing them when they're little like that? Tell them the truth. Same thing with an image. If these kids are looking at a cartoon character or a character or whatever in a book and it's wrong, and you continue to let them see that wrong image, that changed their perception and they don't know anything else. And then when they get older, they're going to say, why you didn't tell me this? You had me looking like a fool. I'm just keeping it real. Okay. But that's what happens in a lot of these curriculums, especially a lot of the biblically based ones. And I know their math book, the purposeful design is it's a Christian base, but it's a worldview, and it's very, 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 very gentle. It's not even. It's more reference to nature, and it's nothing more than what we already do. Somebody is spraying deodorant or something. I keep smelling it. It's referencing, the pictures are birds and nature and things like that. So it's not anything indoctrinating. And that's what I like. It does have, like cartoony kind of pictures, every now and then, but it's nothing indoctrinating. They appreciate, oh, this is an albatross. This is a squirrel, this is a, squirrel teaching them multiplication with the acorns, that type of thing. There's no scripture except for the one page. So it's, to me, that's gentle. But I don't want them, having to learn a difference between something. They're seeing something and I taught them something differently. And they say, wait a minute, don't Indians live over here? What are they doing? That's just too much. Hi, Bree TV. What would I say is a good company or program for when first starting homeschool? Or do you already have a video on it? Baby, you how many videos do I have? Probably had 200 on them. Without giving out personal information, are you trying to start little bitty or 1 and 2 in homeschooling? And do you plan on, are you just trying to try it, or is that something your family is really wanting to go forth with? Yeah, I know. Like I said, I just didn't want to give out the personal, their names and stuff. Okay, so those two. Let me read this other comment. Cynthia, I like to watch your videos. You're a good homeschool mama. You always have so much good ideas. Sometimes it's best to make your own curriculum. Yeah, it is. And that's what I'm working on. Like I said, I have not shared with you guys. I did share that I'm writing a curriculum, and some of the books may seem strange to you because I've talked to you about other books, but I can't really share all of that because it's in the curriculum. Sorry. I can show you the books, but I have to stop showing you the results because it's part of the curriculum. So in that regard, you guys are going to have to wait. And I'm working diligently. It's a lot. And I think what I'm having to do is, I was trying to do elementary, middle, and high, and I don't think that's going to work because of the amount of time it takes me to write these things up. I am having to develop the curriculum by grade. So, yeah. So a lot of, stuff I won't talk about it. You might see a picture of it, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I will save all of that good stuff for, it'll be vlog, but I won't, until the curriculum is actually released, I won't share it. So, a good thing to start on. Like I said, you're really wanting to move forward with it. The best thing to do to work on them with is reading. Teach them phonetically. And I have shared my reading binder. No, my phonics binder. Look at the video with the phonics binder and then go to the one with the reading. Make sure they have their phonics down. A lot of times that's a big one that everybody skips, and they start with the sight words. And I know I still have not done the reading video yet, but because it's long, I did all the research, I have all the notes. I just need to sit down and try to chunk it up because it's going to be more than one part. But don't teach them from sight, because what happens is sight words are very small part, maybe 30-40% of what they read and what they speak. And what happens is a child is only going to be able to code that sight word. If they get to another word, which they will see and speak 85-95% of the time, they won't know that word because you've taught them from sight. So I will toss in like probably, I don't know, whatever video I did. They were cutting and pasting something. That random video the other day, it had is and it. I think they were cutting and pasting just random sight words, but they know other words. So I just do little activities like that so they can have that. That's actually for the little notebooks. But I don't teach them words like that because they read those words within whatever material they're reading. As far as my reading, I have shared online a good source, progressivephonics.com. If you don't have Hooked on Phonics, I do recommend Hooked on Phonics, the original version, and you can find it on eBay. Usually the whole set $10, $15, $20 at the most. I would not buy the new one only because it doesn't have the comprehension portion in it. And honestly, the old school one has the comprehension in it, and we still use it. This is the one I used when I was in school. I was too advanced, but it's okay. This is all that they had as far as comprehension, and it's upside down. But this is and it's a tape, so they can listen to the tape or they can read it to themselves. But they get these little, you have to hold on, these little go tell Justice to come in. These little stories that get progressively harder. Most of them, when they start, it's only like a couple paragraphs on the inside, but they get longer and longer. And then they have comprehension questions and grammar and stuff like that. And it's a theirs they do in the dry erase form. They answer the questions. So even though it's antique, I still recommend this, and I have done a whole review. In fact, I did a collab on it, but I still recommend that. And that's really all you need when you're starting out, kids. That's the only thing you need. You need to work on reading. You work on reading until they get it. If it takes a year, if it takes a year and a half, because they have to be able to read to do math. They have to be able to read to do anything else. They have to be able to read, or you're going to be reading everything. And especially if you have more than one child, who has the time to sit there and read everything? And then if they don't know how to write, I don't recommend teaching reading and writing at the same time. Really, nobody does. And a lot of times kids are not able to, they're not ready to write until they're about 5.5, 6-ish. That's a developmental process.
What?
You go and put some hot dogs in the oven. In the pot.
Is there a water on?
No, you have to put it in a pot.
What do you mean?
On the stove, get the pot and put the water in it. Go cook some. Go heat some up.
Yeah, make you some hot dogs.
So yeah, don't try to teach them to read and write at the same time. Now well, she's 4 now. She started that a long time ago, and I can tell you guys, go back and look at the vlogs. I shared when she was 18 months how she was holding the pencil correctly, and I guess she picked up on it by everybody else, but her fine motor has always been very strong. So I only let her do, and even now, I only let her do what she wants to do. She does not do school every day. Some days she doesn't want to do anything. Like, what I might show you guys, the math book or whatever. She might not want to do that. I don't make her do that. She goes and gets whatever she wants to read or whatever she wants to write or whatever on her own. I do, if I notice after a couple days that she hasn't picked up something, I will encourage something and say, hey, let's do this. And she'll be, because she wants to do it. But she's so, 4-year-olds, they're busy. They got business. So I know she's capable. And she's not school age. She wouldn't even be legal homeschool age for 2 more years. Okay. Okay, thank you for telling me. So, she's really far advanced for a 4-year-old. She just turned 4. So, again, you guys cannot look at that child reading this. She does this on her own. A child that was not exposed to TV at all. That's, pretty much all of them. What else? Phonics, reading. Then you work on the writing, and you just work on basic letter tracings, let them use sand, rice, Play-Doh, things like that, tracing the letters in the air. Take them outside, play catch with them. Inside, play hot potato with them. If they have bikes, school, I know what they have, but yeah, take them outside and get them riding on that stuff, because I know a lot of people focus on the fine motor. It's the gross motor, okay? It's the gross motor that you need to work on when they're little, not the fine motor. You got to crawl before you walk. So that type of thing you want to do. And then you get them, get them on the whiteboards and stuff like that, chalkboards, and help them learn how to, write. And you will see me a lot of the times using a highlighter. We would do sometimes hand over hand, but they pretty much got all the strokes down. But I would do a highlighter and then let them write over it and things like that. But one thing I won't do, you guys, even with their work text, you don't see me writing, okay? If they could read it and they couldn't write it, they would just be reading it. And then when they were able to write, they would have to go back or, pick up on the next level and write. But I am not doing their work for them. And I see that a lot. It's the difference between, taking dictation. I understand I take a little dictation, and do that for them, or let them orally tell me. But I'm not getting ready to do their homeschool work for them. That's why I say focus on reading, then get on to the writing. Buying these big, heavy, bona fide curriculums, you don't need to do that, especially if they can't even write, because you're homeschooling yourself, not the child. So you can take a simple book if the child is not writing and just read to them over and over and over again. And that right there, the repetition of that is doing more than you trying to sit there and force them to write something that they're not even developmentally ready to do. I remember when I was homeschooled, when I was little, my mom would read the same books to me over and over and over and over and over again. And then I learned how to read pretty early, but I remember just, the same thing. And I still remember those same, it was Mother Goose rhymes. And it's like, I think that's what prepared me to write. That's why I learned how to write very well, very early.
We want something. We want to go to the store.
Well, you have to wait. Math, you can focus on teaching them shapes. Focus on them drawing the shapes, learning the shapes. For example, a young child, you would teach them a diamond. A 6-year-old, you would teach them a rhombus. You step it up. Things like that. But like I said, really early, before they're 6.5, I would not really put too much emphasis on things. My kids they were in private Montessori school for a few years, so they had a leg up. That is the only reason why I came out with bona fide curriculum. I could have piecemealed all kind of stuff. But because I found it really cheaply too. And then with 2 of them, it just kind of saved me a lot of time. But we didn't have to do all that. So, and they would have been, is it this year? The twins the twins are 7. They would have just now been starting kindergarten, y'all. If I were to put them in school. And Aaliyah would have been starting kindergarten this year too. Which is the reason why I wouldn't put them in school. Because I could not have them going into kindergarten. And we could have skipped kindergarten, but, then they would have been just 1st grade. But I couldn't have them going to kindergarten with their little sister. That would have just been a slap. So.
Mom, who opened these?
I don't know who opened them.
Jasmine?
Maybe she did.
She did.
Okay. Look, I just swept it. Go in there with that. So, yeah, you need to just, you need to first, make sure you check out your, go to HSLDA and check out your state requirements for homeschooling. And that'll tell you what you have to, what you're required to teach them. For us, it's only 5 things. And so that's why I said next month, February, when I show you what I'm doing, y'all gonna be like, what? What happened to all the, it's in my pocket. That's what happened to it. Because you don't need all that stuff. Yeah. You don't need all that stuff. But we only have to teach reading, grammar, math, good citizenship. What am I missing? Not science. Reading, writing, grammar, spelling. Spelling, that's it. I require my kids to learn instruments and art. That's just something we've always done. Y'all know my kids all play instruments and multiple instruments. To me, I don't even consider that homeschooling. That's just something we do. It's a way of life. But yeah, they don't even require us to do that. So it's pretty basic, and I just pretty much follow the basic in case anybody ever came and knocked on the door. I could show them the curriculum video and be like, here you go. But they're not going to ask me beyond that. Show them some little samples. Is this what you do every day? But for those of you that do have very strict laws, I do recommend that you check your state laws. But again, I would not go out and purchase a box.
Should we have some pretzels?
You can have some, because you can do things on your own. Teachers Pay Teachers is very a very good resource. Your library is a very good resource. What else? The Bible is the best resource, especially for handwriting, character building, and all that stuff. Box curriculum I would only do if I don't know. Why would I choose a box curriculum? For one, people do it for the bells and whistles because it's a box and it's just all there. Maybe a working parent, a very busy parent, a parent that has no sort of idea what to do may choose a box curriculum because pretty much it's all spelled out. And I think if I were to choose a box curriculum, it would be Sunlight, because it's literature based. The only reason why I have not chosen Sunlight, and I watched a lot of reviews on it, and it was large family friendly and just the best thing. A lot of people fell off because they said it was too much reading. They were losing their voice and all types of things. Sunlight is laid out, and you have to follow Sunlight. So if you don't follow the instructor's guide as it's written, you just you have to follow it. There's no deviation, and I can't. We're not like that. I can put together some things, lay out some plans and things like that, but we might want to take another dive and go somewhere else for a minute, and you can't do that. And I'm not getting ready to spend $800-900 on something that I can't change. And so for me, that's one reason why I don't do a box curriculum, because a lot of people feel that it's a box.
I want some of this.
Ask Jasmine to get you some.
Yay!
It's right here, and I don't have to do anything. The minute you open that box, it's giving you the instructions and the lesson plan and how to work this thing out. And then you start saying, well, we only school Sunlight. You have the choice of 4 or 5 days that you can pick if you school either 4 or 5 days, and you go on that lesson plan. But if you we go here on Tuesday, so we're not going to do school on this day, and we're not going to do this. My child can't write this yet. My child's not reading this book yet. Or, we're not. Guess what? You started modifying. So, if you're going to modify things, there's no point in even spending the money on a big package. You modified it right there. Just make your own up. I see that a lot in the reading curriculums, in the, what is those for? The teach your child to read, teach your child to read in 100 lessons. Teach your child to read 20 lessons. Alpha phonics. A lot of them, like I said, I do have some stuff coming up, but a lot of them, the biggest problem I see with everybody, especially to teach your child to read, that's the book I call that makes every child cry and every parent cry. They end up frustrated. The book ends up on the shelf. That's why I was looking over there, because mine is on the shelf. The instructions. Half the people do not read the instructions in those books. They just open the book and go. And even when they're doing the review, I noticed that. I'm like, they turning the pages, and I'm like, you need to be steady flashing on this instructions if you're trying to show. That's the reason why I'm so thorough in my walkthroughs. Because if I just saw this one portion, I would have never purchased a book. So to me, that's how I am. And mine just happened to come in a lot, so it wasn't my focus. I was getting something else. But anywho, just reading through it, I'm like, they started adding Bob books, flashcards, and all kind of stuff. That book did not tell you to do all of that. So they modified the curriculum, and the kid is crying. They're frustrated. The child is 6 and still can't read. Read the directions. Don't do anything different, because when these people write these curriculum, they give you the instructions. Follow it. It's just like a recipe. If you modify it, it might taste the same and it might not. If you leave something out, it might and it might not. But when you're teaching your kids, you spending your money, you want it to be good. Okay? So if you modify it, just do your own. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, math, I would just do some. You can use flashcards. After the shapes, you can use flashcards, but it's so easy to use beans and marbles, and just hands on whatever you have, because kids like to see things. So again, this is motivating me. I got to get this room kind of tidy. It's a mess right now. I know y'all can see. No, y'all can't really see the table, but it's a mess. And I don't want to film my room tour like that, but I'm going to film it, and so that you guys can see what I did, especially with math. It's an investment, but Goodwill will be your friend. And I think that's the one thing. If you're going to invest in anything instead of a box curriculum, invest in a math kit, a legit math kit. And you can look up a math kit for a second grader, and that'll pretty much give you everything that you need. The kindergarten and the first grade ones are kind of different because they don't have everything, but look up for a second grader. It can be about $400, $500, but if you pay attention, Goodwill, eBay, thrift stores, you can look up on a lot of stuff for really cheap. So even rocks and sticks, you don't have to go spend a whole lot of money on stuff and not know if it's actually going to work. And everything else, I would say, just, science, let the kids go outside. You don't have to, especially little kids, you don't have to buy anything for science. Let them go outside. Let them go in the kitchen and play with the water and stuff like that. Social studies, it's usually biography based when they're little. Teach them just important figures, state figures and things like that. But I still, when I say go out and spend a whole lot of money, especially when you're just starting, when you can just pretty much do your own thing. And of course, like I said, the library, I have access to the curriculum that the city uses, and it's not strong. But I haven't found anything worth purchasing with my own money yet. Yeah. And that's the reason why I went for, textbook, because, another thing, if you know somebody that's a teacher, there's a lot of advantages that way. So that's all I'm going to say. But you can get the hookup from them, especially at the end of the year. And even if you don't know teachers, if you go around schools at the end of the year, they throw so much stuff in the trash. Because, they turn over curriculum, and a lot of it is brand new. A lot of it is still in the shrink wrap. So you have to just kind of pay attention. But if I'm getting, friends giving me textbooks, or I'm finding them, at the thrift store for $1 or less, I'm going to use that, because that requires less thinking on me. less time I have to spend doing stuff. But again, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I shared a long time ago that between the middle of the second and third grade, schooling should really change. You should go from sitting next to your child to going to sitting across the room, and you're going to see that a lot. You'll hear my voice and things like that, but what you're seeing now that I've been sharing, that's them. They are, the kids are, they have their own, I'm not giving them answers. I never did give them answers, but I'm not giving them, it's their own ideas, their own writings, things like that. I just pose up maybe a question or two, and then and it's something hard. It's not something, something simple. I just give them something to think about, and then they go from there. So, yeah, it really should change, because you should have worked out a lot of kinks by then. The kids are more mature by then, and they have learned the mechanics of things. Like I say, especially with grammar. You can use textbooks for that stuff, for little workbooks and stuff like that. But you really want to use good ones, because you need to make sure that it's teaching them. They are really grasping the concept, not something, you spend 2 days on teaching them nouns and verbs and think that's it, because that's something they have to repeatedly do, and they're going to have to use that in writing. And if you don't, somebody was telling me they have high schoolers that are not very strong at all in writing, and I'm like, yeah, and they recognize that's a problem. So yeah, if you stop after that two little pages in that little workbook about the nouns and the verbs and parts of speech and stuff like that, that child is not going to have a good foundation for writing at all. So I don't know what to tell you on that part. So once you get it, solidified in a curriculum, ours did not take a whole year. And I'm sure in the school, the teacher would not get through the book in a whole year. But they spent a good 6 months, and we do lots of review. And I'm seeing every now and then I have to remind, did you make your punctuation? Did you make your, make sure you added adjectives, things like that. But they have it down right now. And I just have to make sure that they keep understanding, did you add a preposition, if it need be, stuff like that. And people take that for granted, because especially, 7-year-olds, but that is important. It's very important, because you end up frustrated later on, or you end up spending more time doing other things because you feel that's important. That's more important, when actually it's not. The kids have to know how to, especially in higher education, writing is a big part of that. So once you move from building strong, phonics to reading and reading comprehension, you have to work on that writing. Cursive, I kind of understand why they took it out of school. And I know a lot of times, some say it's because it's quicker. It's, to me, it's a little more effort. I know you don't have to raise a pencil and this, that, and the other, but you can spend excessive amounts of time pushing that. And then what I see is 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds, and a lot of people will really quickly, if you notice, flip through. They're showing, oh, they did this, and they did this, and they're flipping super fast, because that handwriting, you can't even read it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When they get grown and they have to fill out job applications, they are not writing in cursive. When they have to fill out loan applications, they are not writing in cursive. Okay? When they're filling out papers, for anything, you're not writing in cursive. Don't stress the cursive. Teach them, even if it's stroke by stroke. Make sure their print is very legible. These kids will write one word a day if it is if it's good, then they can go on and do another word. If it's good, they can go on. I put, a couple words. It depends on the lesson. And I have to explain that. And that's how I'm using McGuffey's. But they'll have a whole page. But if they don't, if it doesn't look good to me, I don't make them write all the words. I'd rather for the C to look like a C than an O. Okay, if it's cat and they only get the C right, stop at the C. You did your handwriting for the day. So, yeah, we are there. Not to say that they're not writing in cursive, because they're, they know how to write in cursive, but that's not something that I am, I'm enforcing. So, I see that in, second, first grade. And it's a couple of curriculums like that too. They start them off real early. And I know in a lot of, in quite a few European countries, they start them off on cursive. I don't see anything wrong with it, but I'm seeing over here, these kids can't even read. They can't comprehend. They can't, their fluency is very low. And it's, the spelling is very weak. Weak spelling comes from a child not reading enough. All the spelling tests in the world are not going to fix that. And that's one thing right there, spelling tests. Spelling tests are ineffective. So if you're doing spelling tests, that's a problem right there. But it's come, the more they write, the more they write and read, they will, those words will become embedded in their head. They will learn how to spell those words. I will continue to go back. A lot of this stuff may seem like, in the vlogs may seem like repeats, but not really repeats. Just a progression of what's been going on. Thus far, I've been doing a lot of sharing, but a lot of things I've been leaving not out. It's been vlogged. I just didn't put it up yet on purpose. So, I will share that soon. Keep saying soon. But I'm going to get that stuff up. I've been trying to just kind of mash things together because it is the end of the year. And I don't like holding on to a whole lot of footage. And the kids are, like a child finished a book and I just showed the book. And probably somebody was shaking their head like, wait a minute. Because in the next vlog, you see she's going to be in a different book. How did she get from this book? She finished that book a long time ago. The math book I showed you guys, the math lessons, I didn't show the other video yet, but they said the book was boring. So they skipping the page. I don't want to do this. It's too easy. Oh my gosh. But, it's real life. It is what it is. So I want to show you guys that so you can see it's not just me telling you something. It's the kids. Watch the kids. Always watch the kids because the kids are going to be honest. So, I have some people that love that dislike button, and that's crazy, especially when it's a child. You watching a child, so they're saying you dislike that child. What if that child is watching that? I don't know. I have no words, but that's kind of sad. Especially, like I said, if it's just a straight vlog with them in it, you hating on the kids because they smarter than your kids. And I'm going to tell you, we in this house 99% of the time. I'm not watching TV. I'm not on my phone. I'm not on my computer. I'm not talking to my girlfriends. And I'm not in the bed sleep. I am right here teaching my kids. So, you can hate all day. All I can say is teach your kids. All I can say is teach your kids. And get them away from the TV. The only thing I can say is do your job. It takes discipline. Remember we were talking about discipline at the beginning of the chat. Discipline. I am, it's a big responsibility to homeschool your children. It does not come easy. It is not easy. There are days that are going to question. There are days that there may be tears. I'm not crying, but there are days that you're going to be tired. You're going to be exhausted. I fall into bed every night exhausted, and I get up every morning like, what? It's time to get up already. I have to do this all over again, and sometimes just nonstop. But it's worth it. It's worth it. When I think about where they could be if they were in public school system and where they are, I'm fine. I am completely fine. They're fine. And, like I said, there's going to be a time when that's going to be the season. Everybody may be in the public school, but I'm fine with that. They've been trained. They have been trained. So it's interesting. I was talking to this lady. I'm going to get off here, but I was talking to this lady down the street one day. She's a very young girl. She has a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and a 10-month-old, and we kind of, we're talking about not easy, but the alternative I would not accept. Yeah, no public school. Yeah, that's just like having somebody else raise your children. There's too many, and that's what I was telling her. She said, "Oh, you homeschool your kids." She didn't really ask because a lot of people, they don't really ask. They just look at you weird if you say you homeschool your kids. But yep, my kids are homeschooled. Somebody said break. I'm like, oh, they're homeschooled. My kids home every day. Just what is a break? But yeah, they look at you weird. And she was saying something about I said it's not so much my kids. What did I tell her? It's easy. They don't mind being they don't mind. What did I say? They look at you weird. Yeah, they do look at you weird. My kids don't mind other kids. My kids are very friendly. My kids have been taught, love thy neighbor. And that's just how it is. There's no surprise. My kids will not play with any of these kids outside. They call those kids the mean kids. Those kids are mean. And so it's like, I would not dare send my kids to school with the mean kids. These kids are bad, y'all. Man, not to talk about anybody else's kids, but I got little kids coming on my porch throwing newspaper in my backyard. Just all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, come mind your kids. I never let my kids, I don't care how big they are. These are little kids running all up and around the neighborhood, and you don't know what they're doing. Like other people mind. I don't want you, my kids won't even go outside when other kids are outside. They go in my neighbor's yard because my neighbor they was bothering her. That's what they were doing. And she wanted to buddy up with them kids and be their friend. So they go in there, but they want to bother my kids from her yard. I said, if my kids are outside, they're outside when everybody's at school. But I said, if my kids are outside, please don't let them in your yard because I don't want them bothering my kids. They have the right to be in the backyard and not be bothered and harassed by these other kids. The girl was saying, oh, well, my child knows better. If somebody hit her, I tell her to hit them back. And I just, and I don't know, that girl couldn't have been no more than maybe 23, 24. But I said, yeah, that is definitely why my kids are at home. This girl over here promoting violence, teaching the kids to fight. It's a difference between, teaching your kids to defend themselves, but you're going to send your child to school. Your child is going to get hit. You teaching your child to hit them back. But how do you know that your child did not hit first? And why are you teaching your kid? That's more importantly, why are you teaching your kid to hit? So that tells me that she hits her kids. So I was just like, and I didn't even, I just let her talk and I just listened. I just said, oh, okay. Side eye, okay, yeah, you teach her to hit back, okay. And them the type of kids I have to keep my kids away from. I don't teach my kids that. I teach my kids not to hit anybody. And it's not that don't hit them unless they hit you back, because these days that does not work. Back in the day that used to work, but these days, these kids are ruthless, especially when they older kids. They come back with guns and knives and all kind of stuff, and their mamas and daddies, and it just turned into, it's hood. Y'all, I'm just telling you like it is. So we don't do that. We take it to the officials, let the officials handle it, and that's it. But yeah, you can't do that these days. Public school, no way. So I just kind of looked at it. I was like, oh, well, good luck, with putting a little baby in school, and just kept it moving. But yeah, they look at you totally weird. How many kids do I have? I have 9. I have 23, 23, 21, 19. Justice is 17, 15. Who was in there? 7, 5, and 4. Oh, I did it, y'all. And 2 grandkids. I have a 3-year-old and a 6, 7-month-old. Y'all, it's a lot. Anyway, that's the oldest one. Yeah, it's a lot, but I got it. So the break is between the 15-year-old and the 7-year-olds, the twins. So different strokes, and I have a whole little I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be in a vlog, because I was having a conversation, and I don't know if you guys like that, but sometimes if you watch the vlogs, if I'm conversating with somebody, I'll pick up and record some stuff. But I was having a conversation with my aunt. And I might have to spin it back over here just to kind of talk to you guys. And we don't mean any harm in it. But we were talking about the millennial mom. The difference between a millennial mom and an old school mom. It's a big difference, guys. And it's like these days, like I just said, these kids are a lot tougher. These parents are a lot weaker, but they want to act like they are tough. And they're not. Okay, you never see them in school until the teacher supposedly says or does something to their kid, but in the meantime, they're not worried about their kid. They just send them to school and that's it. Let somebody hit their kid and they're right there trying to start a riot. And I think that's completely wrong. When how many times have you volunteered to go read the class a story? Help the teacher with some tutoring or something, It makes a difference to be a parent and be involved and one to just start some stuff. So, but millennial parents, y'all, I couldn't, I had some in a millennium, but I'm not a millennial parent. I would not be. But yeah, millennial kids in the house watching TV. We used to be outside. Millennial kids tearing up stuff. We were talking about, my aunt and I, how my grandmother did ceramics. She had stuff on her coffee table. Glass stuff. My cousin and I, because we were the first, one time, I think she took the stuff off the table. My grandmother told her to put that stuff back on the table. Do you think we ever touched that stuff? No. These days, you can tell them kids, no, don't do this. They have a fit. You're not disciplined enough to tell them to stop, or they having tantrums. I heard somebody say the kid had a tantrum for homeschool for a couple of hours. Y'all, I had to side eye that. I just was like, a couple of hours? That might have happened for 5 minutes on a bad day. 5 minutes. Up in here, that would not happen at all. We don't play that. You're not getting ready to disrupt the whole house because you want to have a tantrum. I'm not that spent. But, yeah. It's a discipline. It's definitely a discipline. Um, with these kids. I agree. Yeah. Yep, we were told you do not touch. We did not touch. My mom never removed anything from the table. She had all kind of knickknacks, and to this day, because you guys know I still have some of my mom's stuff from because my mom is deceased now. I still have her stuff. I have blocks and stuff. Right before we moved, I had to repack the stuff. That stuff is still intact. That stuff we had since I was growing up. Little statues and stuff. These little African figurines and stuff like that. My kids never broke anything because they knew better. You just don't touch it. But she had the whole tables and all kind of stuff decked out. And it wasn't, oh, you can't run around in here or you can't do that. Well, they weren't running around, but it wasn't like they couldn't be in the room and they couldn't touch it. They just knew not to touch it. So, I don't know. These days, people just too, my child just, I don't know. I can't get them to listen and they just don't. No, there's no such thing. Another one I want to touch on is picky eaters. I don't want to offend anybody, but unless the child is medically, one, you have to look at, if you all do not know about eating for your blood type, that's something that you should do. You need to look into that. I try not to do a lot of meat. I just don't really like meat, but I'm O positive and I need meat. And when I don't have meat, like sometimes I'll say I feel bad or, I've had a migraine. It's because I haven't been eating enough meat. But picky eaters, that's a millennial mom thing. Back in the day, grandma did not play that. You ate what was on that plate. And she didn't ask what y'all want for dinner tonight. It's whatever was served. That's what you ate. It wasn't no fruit snacks and gummy bears and graham crack. We didn't eat all that mess. These kids eating all this processed stuff because you just let them. You go buy it. So, yeah. I'm going to touch on that one too. What's another topic I have coming up? We just breached this. Oh, modest dress. My 4-year-old was shedding some light recently. I don't want to shame her. It's really not a shame, but it just really put a lot more. I'm already aware of it because I was telling the other girls what happened. But little girls that young are aware of their body and their image. And it's so very important on how you dress your children. Even though you think stuff is cute and is stylish, don't do it. Do not do it. You don't make fun of her or anything. She is a very tall child for her age. But she was telling me just the other day some stuff. I was like, wow, what? I just, and the other girls, I was telling them, I was like, Mom, where did she get that from? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. But, I know she's sensitive. I know she's very sensitive. And, and if you guys notice, she always wears dresses. That's her. She dresses herself. She has leggings, but she wears dresses. She's not a jeans girl. Every now and then she'll put on some shorts, but she wears dresses. Are you homeschooling the grandbabies? No, I'm currently not. My oldest is, she's in California right now. She does her own thing with them. But yeah, definitely I am busy. And my, the 21-year-old lives in North Carolina. She's just here for, cause she goes to Duke. She's in her last year at Duke University. She is here for, winter break. So, 2 of them live away from home. The other 3 are split between myself and their father. So they live between the 2 of us. So that's why sometimes they're here and sometimes they're not. Or sometimes they're here and you just won't know they're here. So very rarely will you see them in a vlog, because they just, even in, I never really vlogged them because they don't really like being vlogged. My oldest one, or not the oldest one, second oldest one does have a, she has her own channel, but I don't know if she's been vlogging on it recently. I have no idea. So, yeah, quite busy. So, but yeah, I have some, like I said, I have some things, a lot of things I had not touched on. I had not spoken about, and I'm just, I keep to myself, even though I come and talk to you guys. A lot of stuff I just keep to myself on. It's just some stuff I just, because I don't know. But then sometimes I feel that maybe if I just, share, it will, you all can see another side of me, because there's some, it's a lot that you guys don't know about me. It's nothing like different. Of course, there's a lot of personal things you don't know. It would shock you. Um, but those are things that I definitely cannot tell, because it has to do with the family in general. But I know some things, and I just try to share some insight. But yeah, I'm just, it's things I want to open up and just kind of, let you guys get to know me better and kind of understand me better. I do appreciate the questions, but sometimes I don't get questions. Um, sometimes people are asked, but I haven't done a formal Q&A in a few years. And, I don't mind talking about certain things. That doesn't bother me at all, because I think that it gives you all a better, you become more personable and you can relate more. I don't like to be just some stranger on here telling you this random stuff, and I'm just like you all. I'm no different. I'm just like you all. Everybody has different opinions and different viewpoints, and different beliefs and things like that. But I'm no different than you all. I'm open. I'm able to share. If I was asked about 25 years ago, would I do something like this? Probably not. I don't remember. I think maybe that was probably the first time I ever spoke in public. Yeah. It wasn't in college, even though, yeah, I had to take speech. And if that had been my first experience, oh my gosh, I did very well, but that would have been, I would not have said I'm a public speaker at all. And I do want to start getting in front of the camera a little more. It's just kind of hard. A lot of times it's easier for me to just come in and just show you guys what it is and keep it moving. It's like, oh, maybe I could have just showed myself and said something. And I don't know if that makes a difference. You guys have to tell me. If you would like to see me appear more in the vlogs, let me know, rather than you just hearing my voice. That's the reason why I try to even it out with the live chat, so that you can interact with me. I don't know, but you guys have to tell me what you want, because I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that I have a lot more to share. And so that's what I'm trying to do. In the midst of YouTube trying to create chaos for everybody. I don't know what they're doing over here, y'all. For real, I don't. With this, algorithms they're doing and cracking down on these videos. They're trying to get rid of all the kids, really. And I think they maybe just need to, I don't know. And a lot of the parents, because of the parents are starting the kids a channel, but they should be only on the kids' YouTube. It's just a lot of crazies out there. It's crazies in our videos and our chats and things like that. And just to have a kid, exposed like that. But they are doing a lot of stuff here for us, so it's hit or miss. You see the chats going in and out. I'm not having any bad connections. That's them doing whatever they're doing. They are deleting channels. If you have a channel and you're not active on your channel, even channels that are active, YouTube is deleting channels. So beware of that. It's happening. It is definitely happening. But I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to share what I can when I can. I love learning from others. We are all learning together. Did you eat?
Not yet.
Why not?
This hurt.
Your stomach hurts?
Yes.
Look like you've been eating something. Did everybody else eat lunch?
Not all.
Who didn't eat?
Jason ate. Layla didn't eat that much.
You have to think about it.
No.
All right. Come in here.
Again.
Oh, goodness. Come here.
Stop.
I'm going to let you guys see. They all have these shirts. I'm going to have to share them in the vlog. What did you have? What is that you were eating? Pretzels. I don't know if they can see your shirt. Let me see. I might have to pick you up and turn you around. See your shirt? Oh, goodness. You are so big. Turn around. On the back, it says, "We are abolitionists, freedom fighters, moving towards black liberation through a black queer feminist lens." So, unapologetically black. All right.
Okay.
Be careful before you fall over. Yeah, so they're all wearing their shirts. This sister bought them shirts back from a conference she went to somewhere. I want to say it was Chicago. I love when you share. I learned a lot from you over the years I've been watching. Well, I appreciate it. Like I say, if I don't, I know a lot of times I watch stuff and I don't have the time to comment. And I always tell you guys, I watch, probably the same homeschool videos and things like that. If that's what you're here for, I do watch them. I don't always have time to comment, but I watch. And I know it's, sometimes I'll watch somebody and come back 2 weeks later and comment because I just didn't have the time then. So I do understand that. But again, if I don't see it, then it leaves me to wonder, and it's like maybe I shouldn't, maybe it wasn't helpful. I don't know. So what else was I going to say? You are, like I said, I'm still trying to put together a lot of stuff. I'm trying to just clean up all of the, all my files that I have before. I'm not even going to say before the end of the year. It's not going to happen. Because I can try to upload something or, put some stuff together every day. Sometimes something happens and I just don't get to it. I've been trying to get back to the everyday thing. I'm working on it. I want to be able to. So just know that I'm trying to get back to every day having a vlog. And it might be at night because I have a lot of people overseas. So for them, it's a treat to get the vlog at night because they're up. It's day for them. But so I've been stringing stuff together left and right, just trying to get some stuff up so I can move forward with new stuff for the new year. But I think I have everything from the summer, maybe 2 things. Not very much. I will say 2 things, maybe 3 that I haven't shared, and it's probably gonna go along with something else that we're doing still. So I'm definitely going to do that. The girls' hair stuff I haven't shared this whole year. I have a lot going on with that. I have something I didn't want to share in the way of hair because I didn't want to badmouth somebody. I don't know. I might put a snippet up and let you all decide. But I didn't do a switch. I did a trial. Horrendous. And the sad part is, because I'm such a good person, I didn't even go to the maker and say I want my money back. I didn't demand it because I could have been one of those people. I didn't demand it. It never even came up. What I did was asked. I explained to them the issues. Okay, mind you, it's 3 of them. Okay, not one. The same thing happened. I saw the same result with all 3, and that's very rare. But I said, how can I fix this? The attitude was very cocky. The first, and there were no questions asked. And I'm like, wait a minute. If somebody purchased something from me that I create, and there was an issue with it, I would be trying to troubleshoot. Well, okay, what did you do this? What did you do that? What did you know? Could you explain what type of water you have? Because that's kind of important, and something, it just depends on the situation. Just like when I troubleshoot with diapers, when people would come and ask me, I wouldn't just say, do this. I find out about the water and their wash routines and things like that. There was nothing. It was my product didn't do that. And I'm like, hold up. I was not the only adult in this house when that wash day was going on. I was not the only one witnessing that. I vlogged it. I have combed their hair live on camera and shown you things. And I'm like, there's no way in the world I can make this up when people have already seen it live. I'm ready to give a good review and I can't. And more or less than that, I'm worried about the damage. I asked you how to fix it, and you say, do this like it's nothing, and your stuff didn't do it. So, y'all, I'm on a little tangent, but like I said, I don't know if I really want to disclose all of it yet. If somebody asks, maybe I will, but I might put a little snippet of something in there in one of the vlogs. But I do have a whole bit, and it's been a struggle. It's getting better. I've been doing a lot to kind of, I can't even say reverse it, but kind of help the situation. But the effects are still there. So it's like it's a lesson learned. You guys know I don't play when it comes to their hair. A whole lot of products and stuff like that. I'm just not, I stopped switching a long time ago when I took them off the shampoo, period, and went straight to the soap. I don't play with a whole lot of products, but it's not something that something that's new. But I kind of shared a while ago. I mentioned it, and I just never followed up with it. But I did try it. Never again. Never again. It was just that bad. And I know somebody's going to judge me, and I said it. The clip that I'm going to show you, the child was screaming, and I did it on purpose so that you could see. Not for anybody, oh, she's showing the child crying. No, I'm showing you how bad it was, and you've not seen that in her. It was just that bad. I felt so bad for my kids having to do their hair because I screwed up and bought something that, live and learn. But anywho, so I'm gonna share that for those of you wondering what happened to the hair vlogs. I have all that footage. I just have never released it yet. So all the way from February up into now, that's what I'm gonna try to work on for next week. I just need to find clips and put that stuff together, and so you can see. And then I'm gonna throw that one little, spill in there, and I'll come back and chase it. Like I say, if there's an interest for it, after all is said and done, I'm still not one to put somebody on blast, but I'm kind of wondering, and what happened was I saw, I'm trying to not give it out who it is, but I saw some comment, and it was pertaining to something that I'm talking about, and I'm like, and it was after the fact, way after the fact, and I'm like, so people are experiencing some of what I experienced with the girls using this product, and nobody said anything. Are they afraid? Are they scared? Are they? But here was a real comment, people, and then I saw a couple more, and I'm like, she didn't even address that. Why? it's not my stuff didn't do that. So yeah. Anywho, I'll get that stuff out along with the school stuff. But yeah, you guys, in that regard, be careful to what I'm not shutting you off in the dark with the hair because I know you guys appreciate those, but just be careful. Be very careful about what you do with. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Do not fix it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Basically, don't seek out something thinking it's the miracle. I've yet to find a miracle, but I know what I tried definitely was far from a miracle. What you making?
They're painting hands.
Now they're wearing. I did not do their hair. Their sister did their hair in Bantu knots. Come here. And I did not vlog this. Come here. I don't know because it's been a couple days, but this is what she did. I don't even think she did some loose parts. So I might take a picture and throw this in there, or in the vlog. You got some lint right there. That's one of their styles. So, say hi.
Hi.
All right, you can go. So, yeah, we've been trying to do simple things with the hair to keep from manipulating it a lot until it's completely back to its state of health that it was in. That's a lot. All right, guys. I've been on here for let's see, let's say 2 hours and 12 minutes. I don't know. It's kind of, like I said, end of the year, what I have going on, as far as about what I can share. You guys pray. I know I, sat here for all this time and things like that, but we are not above prayer. Nobody is. I talk to people every day, and it's always, I'm praying for you, right? Or I'm seeing, somebody pray for my so-and-so or pray for my so-and-so. So, if anything, that's what I would tell you all to do for us is pray. We are going through, you guys know we have had several losses, fairly close. So, my grandfather, it's only been a couple weeks and it's a lot. It's just a lot going on. So I'm just trying to keep things together as much as I can, if that makes sense. But I'm busy. I'm not far away. I'm just busy. And I'm trying to, like I said, get back up and running and upload some stuff so that it's there and it's just sitting there and it'll just release. I'm going to schedule release things. I just need to set a block of time and just work and just get these stuff edited and up and just scheduled to release so that they'll be a little more consistent. If that makes sense. So they're coming. I'm getting back to the daily thing. I certainly have enough footage to do it, even if it's only 5 minutes. I have some more meal videos coming up and stuff like that. So thank you for your time. And like I said, I am thinking about you all, praying for you all. If you all are taking your break this time of the year, enjoy your break. If you're not taking a break, take a break. Everybody needs a break. Okay? Nobody is above taking a break. The kids will enjoy a break. They love going outside. Give them a break. Even if you're going to watch TV, no shade. I don't watch TV, but I might watch a movie that I have or something, just for some me time. But take a break. Enjoy your time. And love on your family because you never know. You never know. Tomorrow is not promised, y'all. Yes, I have been waiting on the hair vlogs. Okay. Yeah, I just saw. I have not. I saw in my box today. I saw the cleaning the hair. I'm gonna watch it after I get off of here. Well, after Not after. I need to run to the kitchen and take out something from the freezer. But I'm coming right back because I want to see. That thumbnail really got me. But I want to see what's going on with that. So I am definitely getting ready to watch Miss Aurora. I don't know. The girls came in here earlier. That's what interrupted me. And then I was cooking breakfast all morning. So I didn't get a chance to watch it. But, yeah. So I'll get that stuff up.
Wait, just as was cooking hot dogs, she did see 3 zeros. She only got them out.
She didn't see the 3 zeros?
She only got them out.
She only got them out. Well, she probably, come here. She didn't set the timer. That's what happened. Y'all see, she had, because she wouldn't sit for all her knots, and she had a puff.
Ow!
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. See? Sorry. This is the one that had it. She wouldn't sit, so she only got knotted around the perimeter.
Mom, what's your dad?
Say hi.
Hi.
So, and they're falling right there. But turn around. Show what Jasmine did to your hair. So she only did her thing. She would not sit. She wouldn't even sit for Brady. But Lord knows I want to try. But you will see me. I straighten her hair. So y'all will see that once I get to it. And I didn't straighten it. But you're going to have to try without getting it on your shirt.
This part is smooth.
Okay. You just have to keep washing. But yeah, that's coming up. You'll get to see what I did this summer. I was able to straighten it and trim it. I did share the pictures on Instagram, but you guys haven't seen it in the vlog yet. So, yep, we did a little straightening. Anywho, like I said, go spend some time with your family. Love on your family. Take a break from the homeschool. Meditate. Pray on it. And I will see you all in the next chat. Shalom.